have a strong to an intense tornado. It's the same storm. It's cycled back again. It is on the ground near Paxton. We can't really tell how strong it is, but I just know it's very intense. This is your worst case scenario, classic supercell, producing a strong tornado on the ground. If I go to debris bowl, there isn't really much. Thankfully, it isn't really hitting anything, but it could be hitting a bunch of towns soon, like Jericho, Gambill, Duggar, Cass, and Scotchtown. Please, in your safe spots. There isn't really any chasers on this. There isn't really much to do. If you live in these areas, please be in the most interior room of your house and the lowest floor of like a sturdy building. Do not be in a mobile home. This is in immediate danger. This is confirmed by a weather spotter. Probably a fairly large tornado. Do not want to mess with this thing. These storms over here are continuing to intensify and could have the same problem in the future. But we really need to watch this storm. This is a worst case scenario. Yeah, this is crazy. From far away radar really shows how much inflow is going into this storm. And yeah, there is a lot. This is a really intense storm. Can't tell if that's a debris ball. It could possibly be that debris ball right here. You could get all this hail core and stuff, and then you see a noticeable dot in the middle. Would not be surprised if this tornado is doing that. Hopefully not. Yeah, there is a reflectivity hole in this tornado. I have no clue, honestly, how intense this tornado is. Really hard to tell. Not a lot of chasers on it. Yeah, again, it's really really hard to tell like how strong of a tornado it is. It could be really weak. It could be decently strong. But based off this supercell looks, I do not want to take a chance for this thing to be a weak tornado. It's probably a strong tornado. Back over here to near St. Louis, more towards Mount Vernon, Salem, Illinois. We got two big beastie kind of supercells, I guess, exploding over here and starting to mature. They both have rotation on them and could have an immediate tornado threat in the future. Back to this storm that's currently producing a tornado. This will be its second or third tornado produced. Not a lot of chasers on it.
Turn right onto Indy.
Isn't really a view on this thing. It is observed though. This tornado likely could be stronger than the last one. Definitely a possible worst case scenario. It's just really hard to tell if this storm is really that strong. Yeah, if you live in those areas near Linton, Gambill, Jericho, Ellis, Hoser, Wright Rose, Bucktown, Ants Och, Cass, Midland, Gilmore, be in your safe spots as a possibly strong to powerful tornadoes on the ground. A lot of inflow is going into the storm, so this could go on for a while. Would not be surprised if it made it all the way up to Worthington, like all the way into Indiana. And it's about to cross Indiana, by the way. It could make it all the way up there. So this is a storm you do not want to joke about. It has all the potential in the world. If you look at inflow, it has really good inflow with it. It has all the ingredients to produce a really strong tornado. And now, these storms developing down here are taking control of the environment. And look at that. We already got a tornado warning with a decent couplet on it. A tornado could happen with that storm. So things are starting to turn for the worse. Things are starting to climax here, or beginning to climax over here in Illinois. This will be most likely, we're getting into the time frame where this will be beginning into the peak tornado threat, peak ingredients. So if you live anywhere in this orange zone, please be in your safe spots, as an immediate danger for a tornado could happen. All hazards are possible with these storms, including these ones, even other kind of scrubs right now. But we really need to watch these storms, as these might be in a more favorable environment, possibly. Yeah, there's really strong rotation to the storm near Dix. If you live anywhere in Dix, Walnut Hill, be in your safe spots in that part of Illinois. There's probably a decent amount of you guys that live near Mount Vernon. Be in your safe spots. Nothing really happening up here. Back down here. We still have a tornado on the ground. That's the strongest we've seen for the couplet of this ongoing tornado, because there's been a lot of contamination. It's hard to tell what's going on with this thing. But the one thing that we know that's going on is a strong tornado. Not a lot of chasers on it. It's probably a big tornado. Probably like a stovepipe tornado. I have no clue what the tornado looks like. I'm just guessing what the tornado looks like. This storm up here looks like it's latching onto the boundary line, so a tornado threat could be possible with this storm up here near Indianapolis. Again, let me look at the inflow of the storm. Yeah, the inflow is really good this storm. It looks like it's wrapping up more, possibly intensifying the tornado. If we play back the radar scans, it got really strong here for a couple scans and persisted. It's still on the ground, probably maybe a multi-vortex tornado. I have no confirmation of the tornado back here, if it was a condensed tornado or not. We'll know later from damage reports and YouTube videos of chaser confirmation of that tornado. So, yeah. Back to Iowa. If you guys live in Iowa, there might be some of you tuning in for Iowa. If you live in Dallas Center, Prairie, Guthrie Center, Coon Rapids, Dunbun, Carroll, Jefferson, Manning, Madrid, Huxley, Baxter, Marshalltown, Ames, Gilbert, Boone, Story City, Conrad, Eldador, Gundry Center, and Jules Junction. There will be really heavy snow coming down with this system. If I go to here, you guys can see I'm up in my room right now. Look at all this like ice and freezing rain coming out of this. This is insane. We got a really good winter set up here up in Iowa, and I'm right in the middle of it. Back to the weather. We still have tornado warnings, and still an ongoing strong tornado possible. It looks like it's dying out, which is a very good thing. The storm north keeps looking more and more concerning, as an immediate tornado could happen. A couple it's beginning to develop on it, and could possibly lead to a really interesting tornado threat soon. We have a tornado warning up here as a possible tornado. It could be immediate if you live in Terre Haute, Sealyville, Stanton, the HUF airport. Please be in your safe spots, especially Riley and Center Point, Illinois. Definitely be in your safe spots. Still an ongoing tornado here. Back to the storm down to the south. This one's really taking rapid control of the environment, probably faster than any of the storms we've seen today, especially this one too. They're all progressing really fast. All these have an immediate danger for a tornado. So this is very interesting, I guess. Back up here, we go to our terminal radar to look at this thing. Yeah, it looks pretty good. There's a lot of rotation on the back side of it. There's like a boundary line, I guess, trying to help it try and produce a tornado. Tornado threat is still imminent for the storm. Tornado warning is possible. I would probably issue a tornado warning if I was the National Weather Service. Still a crazy looking hook echo on this storm. It looks like it's cycling just based off what I'm seeing on velocity. It's probably still on the ground, but it's probably really weak. Probably nothing much anymore. A lot of these tornadoes so far haven't been really long tracked at all. They've been slightly short-lived. These ones might have a better potential to be a long track tornado as they're more discreet in a more favorable environment. Based off what I saw in the models today, there's a really good area for storm juice along here, and there's a decent area up there where those tornadoes are happening. But there's this boundary line area within dry line where there's insanely favorable ingredients right along this dry line. If I draw it right here, so pretend this is the dry line. This is our unfavorable ingredients. Right here, there's like really significant tornado parameters and decent tornado parameters over here and pretty significant up there. But it's like really intense within that area. And I think this is what these storms are encountering right now, as they look insanely immediate for look immediately dangerous for a tornado. All three of these have the potential of producing a strong tornado. Back up here, we might still have a strong tornado going on. It's really hard to tell if there still is a tornado going on. News velocity, it looks like it probably is a pretty weak tornado now. Not nearly as strong as it was earlier, which is very good news that it didn't last long or went into any major city or town. Rotation continues to get stronger on this storm, so a tornado is immediate or possible. There's definitely a wall cloud with that storm, so definitely be on the lookout for that storm. Continuation of that tornado warning. It was a good job that they did that, as this storm looks really sickening, I guess. It looks really bad. Big tornado could be possible with this storm. It looks really healthy and could definitely do so. I'm going to take a break. I'll be back. I'm back on stream. Looks like this storm is wrapping up again. Based off what I'm seeing, back to these southern storms. They look very concerning. It's definitely a really good wall cut on it. On this storm, chasers are trying to close in on this. One chaser at least, from what I see on Radar Omega. There's probably more than one chaser. From this radar site, there's a really intense rotation with that. It'll probably grow and persist, I guess. And continuation tornado warning for Linton, Dixon, Swittsville, Washington Worth, Calvertoville, Farmers, and Johnston, Indiana now. Let's see if they have a look of this tornado. Looks like this thing is pretty rain wrapped, so it's really hard to tell if there's a tornado or not. Tight rotation continues with this storm. Tornado could happen soon or immediate with that storm at any time or any scan within the next couple minutes. Looks like nobody's really in front of this storm, so it's hard to tell if it still has a tornado on the ground or not. Let's just say if it does, so please be in your safe spots. This is a storm you do not want to joke with. It's already produced a couple tornadoes, so it could definitely do it again. Back to the southern storm near Dix and Kelly. It looks very strong. Would not be surprised. It's hard to tell if there could possibly be tornado or not. It's probably some contamination because I don't really see a fully wrapped around hook echo with this storm. We are pretty far out. We're probably 5,000 feet up into the air away from this storm. And probably, how far away are we from the storm? Let's measure. We are about 60 miles away from the storm. So that means we are, think we are looking 5 to 10,000 feet up into the storm. So we're really looking up into the updraft of the storm, which doesn't mean there isn't a tornado or this storm isn't really good at all for all hazards or anything. When you get inflow like this high up in the storm, that tells you that the updraft of the storm is really strong. And once it gets closer and it keeps showing the signal, when it gets closer, it's more towards the surface, and it'll tell us if this storm is really surface-based with that type of rotation, and that's how we can tell if it is producing a tornado or not. Back to this northern storm, looks like it is trying to produce another tornado. If not, it already has a tornado on the ground. These guys are trying to hook slice around this storm and to get a look at it to see if it's possibly producing a tornado. I probably think it is still producing a tornado, so please be in your safe spots. It's not a storm you want to mess around with. Man, if I didn't have school today, I'd be all the way down in Illinois right now. And I'd make sure to live stream it this time. When I was chasing all the way up in Gary, South Dakota, I forgot to live stream it. I would have had the live stream set up, but those tornadoes were so cool. I was fixated on the tornadoes and not thinking to stream. I only wish if I streamed that day. Looks like Storm Runner Media is all the way down here. That's interesting. They're really close to this storm. Really strong rotation is with this storm. Tornado could be immediate, if not already on the ground. Not a continuation of the tornado warning, but yeah. This is probably one of our best looking storms of the day, and in the best environment. That's like as best as you can get for a tornado setup when you get a storm in a really good environment and it matures like this really well. That's like pairing LeBron and Jordan together, I guess, on like a basketball team, taking the tornado ingredients and the type of storm we have right here. This very well could try and produce a tornado. You can also include LaMelo Ball and Jordan. That's a really good duo. Yeah, Oh, so that rotation that we've been seeing might most likely could have been surface based, as we have a fully wrapped around hook echo. The possible tornado there could be produced from a storm. He doesn't really have a really good view of this storm because there's a lot of trees in the way. He's only able to see the outside of the storm. He isn't really able to see if there's a wall cloud or ongoing tornado possible. Now back up to this northern storm. There's a lot of rotation within it. It looks like there's a cell merger going within the storm. This could be destructive, or it could actually help the storm produce a tornado. Hopefully that's not the case and it destroys it. We do not want to see a tornado go through a big area like Indianapolis. Now back down to Linton, Indiana. There could still possibly be a tornado on the ground. Looks like they don't have a current view of this storm. Looks like they're kind of driving south, and they're going to try and head east to get in front of it. Looks like the rotation's probably behind them right now. Most of the people are hook slicing right now. They don't really have good connection, so I can't really see if there's anything going on. This storm is radar indicated, so it looks like that tornado that we had earlier that was pretty strong lifted, which is a very good thing, and hopefully it stays like that. We got some tight rotation trying to develop here as a vortex wraparound within the storm from this cell merger is trying to happen near Plano and Eminence. This isn't tornado possible. It definitely needs a tornado possible tag, if not a tornado warning. Back over to the storm near Kelly. This thing keeps looking more healthy as it persists and could possibly produce a strong tornado within the near future. If you're near Alma, this storm also is persisting and is growing too. This one definitely needs at least a severe thunderstorm warning. Both of these storms are really intense. Both of these chasers can't really pick and choose which storm they want to go for. In my opinion, I'd go for the southern one as it's in the most favorable environment. Same with this middle one. This middle one's also a good option, but I'd go for the southern one. These two chasers are in a really good area, and yeah. Looks like this storm is cycling again for the third time. Do not rule out this storm as it looks weak now, as it can easily cycle again and possibly produce a tornado between Worthington and Bloomington, Indiana. I'm going to do a radar update at my house currently. The conditions keep getting worse and worse as it looks. A lot of snow is going to be coming down tonight, streaming up in my room. We're supposed to get like 7 to 9 inches of snow. As you can see, I'll be mainly covering weather, but this is what's going on at my house right now in Ankeny, Iowa. So yeah, back to the weather. I'm going to go all the way north to Des Moines, Iowa. Basically, we're getting all this rain-sleet mix right now, and it's all like, basically rain and sleet is basically the mixture of snow, rain, and ice. Basically happens when the temperatures are not below 32 degrees. But when this stuff gets all hazy and it's hard to explain. So the cutoff line right here, this is a rain, snow, sleet mix. And then back here is all of our snow that we're going to get. And once it gets over here, it's going to slowly shift by the temperature differentiation. Once the degrees get below 32 degrees below, which means below freezing, that means all this rain, snow, sleet is going to transform into snow from the air molecules pushing that water droplets up into the updraft of these clouds within this precipitation, which is going to bring us snow in the next few hours. Back near Worthington, we still have a tornado warning continuing. No tornado imminently on the ground. Back over here, we have a couple of thunderstorms in a really unfavorable environment that I talked about earlier along the boundary line of this setup near the dry line, actually. These all have the possible of producing all hazards possible. Large hail, wind, and a strong tornado is possible. To show you the risk again today for strong tornadoes, if I go to severe weather outlooks and go to day 1, we have a, oh my gosh, I can't even get out of it. Can I? I can't. What the heck? But we do have a strong tornado threat. I can outline it for you right now. Anyone in this area within a 25-mile radius could experience a strong tornado possible. I would include Indianapolis, and if any storms form near Kentucky, there's a really unfavorable environment down there too, except it's capped off. So there is still a possibility storms can form down there, but most likely they won't due to the how the environment's set up. Looks like this storm is cycling again, as it's getting a classic supercell look as you get the rear flank downdraft of the storm and a hook echo wrapping around it due to the ingredients and wind shear present in this environment. We have a lot of chasers on this storm. It is really hard to see a tornado because this specific storm is severely rain wrapped. So if you do see a tornado, most likely you're going to drive right through a rain draft near the rain curtains of a tornado. And those types of tornadoes are the most dangerous tornadoes. It's actually second most dangerous tornadoes behind nocturnal tornadoes. Rain-wrapped tornadoes are. We still have a tornado warning. If you live in Worthington, Bloomfield, Swiss City, Freedom, be in your safe spots in Indiana. Back down here, there is 2 chasers down here on these storms with a possible threat for a tornado. Looks like things have died down quickly right now, and I'll be back live when things uptick again, and I'll give another live forecast on the tornado threat and coverage of that, and I'll coverage Iowa later if things still persist really start intensifying for Iowa. Thank you all for joining the stream. Really appreciate all of you that joined the stream. I love doing this. And yeah, bye.